I've said it before and I'll say it again. Doncaster is full. Now, I often get challenged, like just opposite, like I often get challenged as a Christian when I say Doncaster is full. But I don't think it's very Christian putting people in boats that are going to, obviously, sadly, sometimes fall. I don't think it's Christian promising people a life in this country when we don't have the services for them. And I don't think it's Christian taking the best people from developing countries because we don't train our own in this country. I don't think it's Christian when my constituents are having to put up with immigration at the levels that they are. Now, we've heard the lawyers in this House speak so eloquently, as they often do, and we hear the left-wing lawyers do the same. But the lawyers in this place, at least they are probably trying to help, at least on this side of the House. Unfortunately, outside, we have left-wing lawyers making six-figure salaries, calling me awful, and people like myself. We have TV pundits on seven-figure salaries, paid by my constituents through TV licences, again calling me awful. Well, I asked these people on these huge salaries, on these seven-figure salaries, I asked them to sell everything that they've got. I asked them to give it all away. Then I asked them to come and get a job in Doncaster, probably on £25,000, £30,000 a year. I asked them to find themselves a partner and then probably go and buy that dream house. Now, they buy that dream house, a three-bedroom semi and mid-terraced. They make the garden nice, the kids play in the garden. They've got a couple next door who've got kids themselves, and everything's rosy. Then all of a sudden, the neighbour decides to move on, he gets a job or he moves somewhere else. And that house turned into an HMO. And then we have 9 people who don't speak English anymore, bed hopping, which is what's happening, and it's no good saying it's not happening, it's happening. And it's happening. If anyone wants to come and have a look, then please come and have a look. Because, I'm sorry, you're burying your head in your sands, trying to make yourselves look good in front of people to get votes. But this is happening, and it's happening in Doncaster, and it's happening in places throughout this country, and we are turning parts of our community into a ghetto. And this is what is happening. Now, all of a sudden, you're living next door to an HMO, and you've got comings and goings at 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, people outside smoking. The grass doesn't get cut anymore, the windows don't get cleaned anymore, and unfortunately, you feel scared to let your child play out in the garden anymore. Now, there's no gated communities here to make people feel safe, because we're not on seven-figure salaries anymore. You're earning £30,000 now, remember? That's what you're earning. So the only protection that you've got is a lock on a door and a council that might put a public space protection order in, but not enforce it anymore. Now, this is what's happening. You can't sell your house anymore, and if you do, you have to sell it at a discount. Your little child falls over in the street and you have to go to A&E, and you get a 12-hour waiting list. And the reason why the waiting list is so long is because people don't speak English in these places anymore. And this is what is happening. You then go to the schools, and the schools classes are over and oversized. And this is what's happening. Now, you can shout me down, you can say what you want, I really don't care. But this is what's happening. And we have to tackle this illegal immigration and this immigration because it is not fair. Because that couple that I'm talking about are paying their taxes week in, week out. They expect to live on nice streets. They expect to be able to have the services there for them that they pay for week in, week out. And they don't expect to be called racist or xenophobic for saying, we liked it as it was. And if we're going to have immigration, which I don't completely believe is a bad thing to do, it just needs to be controlled immigration, and that's what I was set down here to do. I'm only here because of Brexit. The people of Doncaster had had enough, and they wanted control of their borders. And unless we get control of their borders, Secretary of State, ministers, unless we get control of their borders, we will not be coming back down here. I will not be coming back down here again. And the worst thing that... And you might cheer, but the people of Doncaster are not cheering because it's the first time they've had a Conservative MP to hold the Socialist Labour Council to account, who've been left to get away with murder for the last 60 years. It is absolutely atrocious. And so, I will back this bill. I will back it today. But we've got friends on this side of the House who want this bill stronger. And I'm going to work with them. I'm hopefully going to work with you. Because we must make this work. We have to stop the boats. It's what the Prime Minister has said, and I will back him until we don't. We must stop the boats. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Dave.